Speaking of cooler stuff, one of the more prestigious cities in America is getting to host the 2028 National College Football Championship. It is the city of New Orleans.
Oh, okay, Sugar Bowl.
Yep. I've heard it's like the most walkable city in America.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
crime
heard
rate's
it.
pretty high over there too. It's pretty
Well,
scary.
it's everywhere these days. Um, so yeah, they just hosted the Super Bowl. They're coming off of a pretty solid vibes for sure, and then
They've always been a great host city. They've
yeah.
always have been. It's that time of the year is always really good over there. You know, I mean, LSU loves that because almost every time New Orleans gets a national championship, they end up being really good that year too. I think that what was it? Nick Saban was the Nick Saban year they won when they was in there. I know Les Miles' year, his year when he won the national championship, he won in New Orleans, and I believe the year that they played Alabama in the national championship game was in New Orleans and they lost.
Was it the Burrow year?
The Burrow year, I do not know if they played Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. If it did, that means I think like they're 2 for 3, or they've been to the Sugar Bowl. LSU has been to the Sugar Bowl 4 times, every time it's hosted lately, since the BCS era that I can remember.
LSU holds a all-time record of 4 wins and 2 losses in the Superdome, including a 3-0 record in national championship games. They beat Oklahoma in the national championship in 2004.
Yep.
They beat Ohio State in 2007.
Yep.
They lost to Alabama
Mm-hmm.
in 2011, and in 2019, LSU defeated Clemson. So I guess that was
Yep. So there you go. So that means, like I said, that means in 2028 LSU's going to the national title game.
Place your bets, friends.
Great futures bet if you can get it.
For sure. Don't have too much thoughts on that. Just wanted to throw that out there. When's the last time Houston hosted one?
Not too long ago, I believe. Right? I think we did we also did that Final Four stuff too. I believe that was last year. I think last year or 2 years ago. And then because I remember the Pat McAfee bus. Pat McAfee bus was here when Michigan won the national championship game. It was hosted in Houston.
Really?
Yep. Because I remember when I was living in my townhome at the time, I drove.
Oh yeah, that's when they beat the brakes off Washington.
I remember when I wanted ice cream so bad that night, and I was just like, I think that was a Sunday night, and I'm driving, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Pat McAfee's bus, like right there, like in like that certain area of Houston. I was like, oh shit, like that's kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean. Houston's the thing is about Houston, we're so overwhelming because we're 2.5 hours in every direction. So like there's so much to do in this town. Like Houston proper, like it's sometimes you could get a bad rap of Houston because you're like not in Houston, but you're in the area around Houston, the greater Houston area. But I mean, we're a decent host city. I just think, but you really have to have a good local person to kind of like put you in the right direction of where to go in town. We're like New Orleans. I think it's super tourist friendly. It's super accessible to a lot of things. Everything's really close together. Same thing with Dallas. Dallas is super tourist heavy. Like it's not that you go to Fort Worth, you go to Stockyards, you can go to Arlington. I mean, Texas Live and all that stuff. Where Houston is like, okay, by the way, enjoy, pick your own adventure. And most tourists don't like that because it's just like, no, I kind of want like a sense of direction of where to go and like be in a little confined area. And Houston is not at all that. Like we do not have one spot. We have so many other spots like East Downtown, Uptown, Midtown, the Heights. You know, you can go on the beach and then go like up north, like within the same day. Like it's all like super diverse. But I mean, I think we are a great host city. But we do need a better stadium, though. NRG is kind of a piece of crap. It's 23 years old now.
Yeah. It's as old as me. Jesus. Fun fact.
But yeah, good for New Orleans.
Fun fact: the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl when they first hosted the Super Bowl down there in Houston. Beat the Panthers.
Yes, that is true. The only other
28-3. They did.
Yep, 28-3. Yep, that was probably the most insane Super Bowl I ever saw in my life, and it was here in town. That was pretty cool. But like I said, I think the area in which, because most Super Bowls, like, because you kind of want to build stuff around these venues, right? Because so that way it's like, oh, you can go here. Let me tell you this about NRG. One, you're near a whole bunch of homeless people all the time.
Good.
There is nothing to do next to that stadium at all. There is the Astrodome that is literally collecting dust and asbestos. The NRG Center, which half the time is just fucking closed off. Like, it's just kind of like this. It's built like a strip mall, but half the time it's a convention center that we host for the like Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We put all of our vendors and we do the FFA. We do like the livestock showing in there when the animals are being sold off for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And but near that side of town, one, there's not good eating over there. There's no good hotels next to that stadium too. So I think Houston, and then also it's nowhere near any other stadium in town. The Astros are literally like a 30 to 30-minute drive on the other side, and then they're next to the Dynamo, the two soccer teams, the women's and men's one, and then U of H is on a different side of town where their stadium is, and then the Rockets are like relatively close to where the Astros play. Like, we're so all over the place.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's the Toyota Center?
The Toyota Center, I'm a little bit down the street from. It's next to the George R. Brown Convention Center. It's near that area. Same thing with like.
I'm nodding along like I've ever been to Houston in my life.
Yeah, like it's. Listen, I mean, but still, like, for people who don't understand, like, Houston is just a vastly large city. It can be a great host city. I just think that we need a better NFL stadium, or we just need to do something with, like, I don't understand how the Astrodome is still up there. It's a waste of space. Makes no sense.
Nothing's going on. It's just abandoned, sitting there.
Literally, it's just an abandoned building, like a couple like yards away from NRG.
Would a young Gerardo break in there just to see what's up?
Oh, it has been many times. There's so many people that have done, like, they do those YouTube channels that do like abandoned buildings. They had that one dude scale and get onto the roof of it.
Probably not safe. It's probably on the verge of collapsing at this point.
Yeah, but I think like he partnered up with NRG to do something with that. But one of the cool things about the Astrodome back in the day, they made the whole top row of the Astrodome glass at first, because they did not want to have turf in there. They wanted grass, and they needed sunlight to get in, and it didn't work out, and they ended up going with AstroTurf or turf, and then they just called it AstroTurf because of the Astrodome.
Yep.
So it was kind of cool, the fact that they did the whole top part glass, and then it had the roof on top of it.
And yet you still said, fuck the Astros, go Rangers.
Yes, because the Astros were the disastros when I was growing up. They were.
Oh, yeah, the Astros, the Lastros. Yeah.
But yeah, disastros, Lastros, Astros, Trastros. I mean, technically when they won, they were still called the Trastros. So, yeah, but no, yeah. I mean, also, I'm a big Josh Hamilton fan. He was the greatest baseball player I've ever saw play. He was insane and absolutely crazy. That's why I've never been me personally, I've never been any type of Houston sports fan, because the Oilers, to me, were the greatest team to ever exist in Houston. By far, super marketable, unbelievable colors, great owner, do not care what people say, and the city of Houston treated them like shit. He wanted a new stadium. They didn't want to give it to him. They said, you have to pay for it, but we also kind of want to own it. He said, F that. He leaves and relocates to Tennessee. We all know this. And then Houston gets his team, and they build a new stadium. And he's like, what? So you build a new stadium when I leave, but you wouldn't give me one when I had the product here. And that's why, like, when Bud Adams, every time he would play the Houston Texans, he double birded them from the owner's box every single time. And I love that.
Too bad Amy Adams sucks at her job, but
yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that's why. I mean, it's just also Houston is like very much LA when it comes to sports.
Oh, they're just like,
bro, if the team sucks, I have so much other things to do in my life. Like, you know what I mean?
Like
yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's like Green Bay. Like, dude, there's literally nothing to do but watch the Packers. any Ohio team. There's nothing else
In
to do.
Boston, it's live, breathe, die, fucking sports. Because what else is there? You have the academics, which is why like academia, like they don't really care about the sports. They really care about, oh hey, where you
The
invest in this,
opposite
that,
end
and
of
the
the
third.
spectrum.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Like, so it's just pretty much super book smart people who are probably not really into sports.
Yeah, and then they got beach houses on Nantucket and up on the coast. No big deal. But yeah, normal people like
But
go
then also,
Celtics, go
like, y'all had
Bruins, go Sox, go Pats.
because y'all have like a huge underdog outside of the Celtics, an underdog mentality in most
Well,
of your
even they
sports.
like to pretend that they have a underdog.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, so that means usually when you're always being shitted on as a fan base, you kind of devote yourself even more so to your team. And then all of a sudden you had, I mean, the run that y'all legendary run that's still going on since the year 2000. Like, that means you've had multiple generations of people growing up with not only parents who lived that being underdogs, but then now it paid off. And then now it like translated to just more than like, now it's just a great devotion to those
Spoiled
things.
fucking kids.
I mean, it's not being spoiled, but it's also just like how many generations suffered beforehand of the Patriots being a joke? How many years was like the Bruins a joke?
The Red Sox.
The Red Sox were forever a joke. Like, and that's what I mean. It's like y'all built yourself on a legacy of so many like failures, bad transaction, bad free agency, bad coaches in so many different departments. You're like, I'm gonna still stick with my team. We're here in Houston, bro. We lose one game, bro. I'm okay. I don't turn this TV off. Put something else on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
what's on CMT tonight?
yeah, like so many other things to do. The city's so big.
I would like to visit one day, but
It's a great town. I say it's a great city on earth.
neither here nor there.